Kelly. How are you? I'm the Frugal Fun Mum. Welcome to the channel and to today's video where we're going to be answering two very important questions. One, what is a no buy or a low buy year? And two, what are the rules? What do I do? It's a question that's everybody asking. Let's answer it together. So, no buys are the buzzword at the moment all over the internet, in YouTube land as well, and a lot of social media sites. So it might have been something that you've heard of, and there's a couple of Facebook groups that I'm connected with, and a whole lot of people have just a million questions at the moment. So I'm just going to answer the two most important questions that people have. If you have any other questions or comments, please leave them down below, because I would love to be able to help you and support you in this journey. So what on earth is a no buy year or a low buy, which a lot of people hear about? And they're actually two different things. So the first one is a no buy, and it is not never ever spending any money ever, which is what a lot of people think. It is making sure that you only are spending money on the essentials. In life we have wants and needs, and you really need to focus on your needs. You need food, basic clothing, shelter, gas, electricity, running water. These are the things in life that we need. The things that we want: makeup, skincare, jewelry, clothing, labels, designers. We don't need those things to function on a daily basis. However, I do need food and running water, believe it or not. So it is focusing on paying the bills and getting the essential things in your life. So you do pay that money, and then hopefully you have money left over that you can save, put towards debt, do whatever you want with it. So the idea is that people go into a no buy because they realize in life that they're spending a whole lot of money in areas, buying things, buying excess, being smothered or by clutter and accumulation of things that they have, and they're just looking to get out, and they're looking also to want to save money, get out of debt, etc, etc. And they figure that they need to stop shopping and just focus on the essentials of life and not so much the luxuries, and it's going to help them forward with life. The second of doing what's called a low buy, a lot of people usually do this because they've already done the no buy, and they're looking at being able to increase their budget a little bit to allow a few things to start sneaking into their life, a little few luxuries and other things like that. And they usually have a budget around those things. So they do allow themselves to buy, like say skincare or makeup, but they set a budget and they're really strict with it. They might still have areas in the low buy saying, like, I'm still not going to have any clothing this year, but I am going to allow for a small beauty budget. So there's two different categories that are there. You can still have some components of a no buy in a low buy. So I know some people that say, oh, I'm still doing a no buy of skincare and makeup, but I'm happy to do a low buy of clothing. And they give themselves a budget every month and they stick to it. Now, when it comes to clothing for a no buy, we're talking about essential clothing. So your underwear, basic t-shirt, basic pants, the things that you would need to not be arrested for indecent exposure. So these things are important, but buying a designer label of something because you need it, no. So yes, it's cold, you need a jacket, great, buy something super cheap, go to an op shop, borrow it from a friend. But you want the designer label. No, you just need a jacket. Get the cheapest thing, especially if you are looking at saving money or getting out of debt. So determining whether you're going to do a no buy or a low buy, you also want to look at how long you're going to do it for. And again, totally up to you. A week, a month, a year. Again, it will depend on if you're trying to save money, pay off debt, control what you have, totally up to you. A whole lot of people I know do a no buy January because they're trying to get over the Christmas shopping, but some people like to do for a whole year, especially when they're looking at areas like skincare and makeup, because they know that they spent way too much money last year, and they know they're probably going to do it again this year, and they also know that they have so much stuff in that cupboard, especially if they got more stuff at Christmas time and they're just going, what do I do with all of this stuff? So that's where having little areas with rules really help. Question number 2, what are the rules? What do I do? Somebody help me. So again, this is really going to be determinant on your lifestyle and what you feel you need to control. A really good way of doing this is first grabbing all your bank statements and having a look through where you've spent the most money. Where did you spend it? What did you buy? Is it just all classed as shopping? Yeah. And yeah, determine what you think are your problem areas and maybe what you want to focus on. The other thing is take a walk around your house and have a look to see what you might have excess of and what you think, wow, I have a lot of that thing. So for a lot of people, I know it's clothing, makeup, and skincare. They tend to be the big 3. And so people kind of make a decision, that's it, I'm not buying any more of these things. I have enough. And this is where you need to put your rules in place to help you stick on course. So your first rule needs to be your why. Why are you doing a no buy year? You need to have a very clear definition in your head, and it's going to help you keep on track for when you see the sale email hit your letterbox, or you go to the mall and see 50% off whatever. You need to really just have that thing that's going to keep you grounded. Write it on a piece of paper and put it everywhere around the house, but also attach it into your purse, so as soon as you open it, you're going to see your why. Is buying that thing right now going to help you pay off that debt? It's really going to emotionally pull on your heartstrings and make you second guess. I understand a lot of people will be like, oh, it's just the one thing. Yes, but all those one things add up over time, and then we're in the situation that we are now. Oh my God, how did I get all this stuff? Where did it all come from? Where did all my money go? So having your why there very clearly defined will help you. Some people are doing a no buy challenge just to do it for the challenge, and that's cool, but then they kind of work out along the way, it's be good to help save some money and see my progress, use the products that I have. There are so many elements and ideas wrapped up in it, so you can have a very basic why to start with, and by the end of it you might have discovered other reasons. At the end of the year, month, week, whatever time period, I highly suggest you go back and review what your why was and where you finished, and so you can have a bit of a review and look at, are you going to do a no buy again next year? Are you going to go into a low buy? Was there anything that you struggled with? Was there anything that you're going to change? And it's just going to help you overall, can give you feedback to other people in communities and things like that too. The second thing with setting your rules is to have very clear statements that say I can and I cannot. Usually they're the other way around, so I cannot buy any new clothing, jewelry, skincare, makeup, books, household, plants, whatever you have excess of is what you want to focus on. So they'll say I cannot buy those new things, but I can buy whatever if it breaks or I need to replace it, which we will talk about. Replacements also can stretch to homewares, especially if something breaks and you need it. I'm thinking of kettles. I know for us, we have all our coffee at home. We don't buy any coffee, takeaway, etc., etc. So for us, if our kettle broke, then I would need to replace it. I could boil water on the stove, absolutely, but there are other people in this household that probably wouldn't be able to do this, and so it's safer and easier for us to have a kettle for them to use. Also, they probably couldn't be bothered, but still, so that would be an absolute necessity. We need that kettle, so if it breaks, I'm going to replace it. I'm going to replace it for the meantime as cheaply and as quickly as I can, and then maybe look at something a little bit more sustainable in the future, especially if I'm in a hurry. I know there's the whole argument about you've got to buy good quality, blah, 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 blah. So again, that's going to be up to you to determine, but I know I'm going to buy probably the cheapest thing and then worry about it down the future if I need to come across replacing it again. Replacements in the skincare and makeup are usually also a very long list of rules. It depends again what you have with your collection. Some people have 2-3 items of the same thing, and so just because they say have their favorite cleanser and it runs out, they can't necessarily go and replace that cleanser straight away because they have 2 or 3 other cleansers. So they will say to themselves, I cannot buy anything new, but I can replace it as long as I've used everything that's there. And so it can mean that they get to focus on the collection of what they have and making sure they go through and using everything up. Setting your rules for what you can and cannot buy, you can also attach to your essential spending as well. Say your car needs to go in for maintenance, absolutely. You need it for work or school or whatnot, but you could look at the service bill and what you normally pay and determine what is an essential and what is a want. I know that when I put my car in for a service, with the service they have like a cleaning thing, it's usually all in one, but you can pick and choose what to do. So doing a no buy, I'd probably say I'm happy to pay for the service, but I'm going to take the cleaning and the detailing out. I'd be more than happy to come home and attempt to do it myself, buy the products myself, and then I have them for another time, or I can jump on YouTube and learn a new skill about how to detail a car. So a no buy can also help you save money, but also learn a new skill. When you're setting your rules, yes, there are some areas of your life that you want to control, especially around shopping and the excess things that you have, but just be really honest with yourself. If there is something in life that you think you'd like to change, then probably incorporate that into a rule, but don't be too hard on yourself if you kind of break it or you end up in a situation that you're just not sure about and something happens, but try to accommodate sort of where you can. So many times I see people really back themselves into a corner because they have the biggest list since Ben-Hur, and it will be like no jewelry, no skincare, no makeup, no clothing, no alcohol, no sleeping in, no sugar, no Netflix, no TV, no computer, no internet past 10 p.m. Like, it is a massive list, and by the end of January they're like, I'm done, I'm out of here, this is ridiculous, it doesn't work, and they beat themselves up that they couldn't maintain it. I feel that putting too many rules and expectations in place, you're just setting yourself up for not having success. I'm not going to say that you're setting yourself up for failure, but you're basically just putting all these roadblocks in your way that you're just going to keep trip and falling on, and then stand up and go, what happened? I don't understand. So you have things that you think within reason are logical and that are going to support you. Also, when you're setting your rules, a lot of people connect it to a budget, so they will have things like, I can purchase gifts for other people, but I'm only going to make sure this year I spend this amount per person, and then it just helps them with their finances as well. Then they don't feel obligated to buy everything for everybody. My love language is gifts, and I love buying gifts, absolutely. So one of the things I'm trying to hone in this year is not to buy stuff just because I see it in the shop because I think someone would like it. I need to be able to buy it for a specific purpose around a birthday, anniversary, celebration, etc., etc. It will help you to control your spending as well. There are a few things that are going to crop up, especially if this is your first year doing a no buy, that you're going to go, I have no idea what to do. Take them as they come and kind of figure out a plan. This is where being part of a Facebook group is awesome, because you can ask other people what would they do in this situation, or maybe look back at your rules and see if you have some sort of idea. A lot of people will have a rule like no takeaway food except if it's a birthday and we're going out, and then I'm only going to spend this amount. So they have that rule attached to a budget. for celebrations and things like that. There is a popular thing known as a grey area in a no-buy. People talk about when they receive gift cards or vouchers for birthdays or celebrations, etc. And again, this is where you can set your rules about what you want to do with it. Some people will say, if I receive a gift card, woohoo, it's free money, off I go. Other people will say, no, I'm going to save it and then use it to replace that skincare, makeup, etc. And then that way it's like a super bonus at the end, because I'm not just adding to my collection, but I'm helping maintain the products or replacing what I have to keep me going for longer at the end. Remember that doing this challenge, it's a marathon, not a sprint, so it's going to take a while to get there, especially if this is your first time doing a no-buy. You are going to come across situations and other challenges that you haven't thought about, or things that you're going to say, I just don't know what to do. So many people on YouTube that I follow, while they are successful in doing their no-buy, they say it is because they could have replacements of stuff, and so having that security that they knew that they could still buy something sort of saved them, I think, from going over the edge, as they say. I hope that this has answered any questions that you might have, and just to help you get thinking along the idea of the no-buy and what your rules might be, and help to propel you forward into 2022 and this challenge that we have. Remember, there are some links below for a couple of Facebook groups. They're worldwide, so wherever you are, feel free to join them and connect with other people that are around you. Be aware that they are worldwide, so if you're in Australia like me and you're like, where can I get this thing, and someone replies with, I go to Sam's Club, and you're like, what is that? Yeah, so be specific if you have questions or things, but most of the groups aren't sort of shopping specific. They're about sharing struggles and celebrating wins. A lot of them don't allow for pictures of things that you purchase because you saved money, and they're about, oh, I managed to save $15 this week by eating at home instead of getting takeaway, and people will celebrate and cheer you on. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if you're doing a no-buy year, or if you've done one in the past. I would love to hear from you, and any challenges you had and how you overcome them, because as I said, I've tried this twice before. I barely made it to the end of January, but I'm committed to 2022, new year, fresh start. I'm not going to say new me. Everyone did that for the past 2 years, and look what came. So we're just, everyone be quiet and just walk in. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, because we would love to have you on our journey with us. And as always, I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.